Hi, raw travelers out there. Today's video is going to be real short. I was over at a Walmart a couple of days ago and I was trying to load my Bluebird. And I'm living in downtown Los Angeles. This is on Cesar Chavez. There's a Walmart neighborhood store, which is really just a grocery store. They have a pharmacy and a grocery store. And I've gone there before about a month ago, maybe not even a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, I think. And I was successful. I had the Bluebird card. I asked them to reload it, and they just reloaded it because they don't have one of those automated ATM machines. They just have the money center, and there's a girl behind the desk at the money center, and I asked her to reload the Bluebird, and she said fine. She took the Bluebird, and I reloaded it. I don't remember how much it was for, but I reloaded it, $200 or whatever it was from the gift cards, which had pins on them, and I had no problems. I just walked in and walked out in 10 minutes, and everything worked fine. I went again a couple of days ago to the exact same store, and I waited in line. There was a bunch of people in line. Finally, I got to the front in line, waited probably 20 or 30 minutes, and I got to the front of the line, and the girl the at the counter, she saw me holding my Visa gift cards, and which was a big mistake. You should not let them see them. You just keep them in your pocket. But she saw me holding them, and as I handed her over to the Bluebird card, and she said before she even took the Bluebird card, she says, "Oh, we don't. You're not allowed to use gift cards to load the Bluebird." And she said, "I know that if you use the automated ATMs that we don't have here, but she said at other Walmarts, she said I know that it works." And she said, "But the manager here, he doesn't allow us to accept those for payment to actually not for payment, but to load onto your Bluebird." And which is this is the first time I've been to Walmarts all over the place, from Hawaii and to all over California and in New Mexico, and I've probably been to about 10 or 15 Walmarts, and I've never come across this issue. So this is the first time it's happened to me where I've been denied reloading my Bluebird card with a Visa gift card. And 99% of the time, in fact, almost always, they don't even ask me what I'm using to reload it. I just hand them my Bluebird card and say I'd like to reload this, and I tell them how much. Usually it's $200, sometimes it's $500, and they just do it. And then there's that little terminal that's in front of you, and it'll come up with a little yes, no, and the amount of money. It'll say the amount you told that the person. It'll say $200 or $500, and then you just click it with your finger or the pen, the electronic pen, and the next thing that will come up on the screen, it'll say slide your card, in which case you slide the Visa gift cards and the one that has that amount of money on it, whether it's 200 or 500 or whatever. And then it's going to ask you for your PIN. So then you just key in your PIN and then hit enter or something like that. And then it'll take a few seconds and it'll do something. And then it's going to say approved. And then the money's moved over. And that's all it takes. But this girl, she said, no, her manager doesn't want us to accept these anymore, and blah, blah. And I said, but I waited half an hour for this. And she said, I don't care. Da, da, da. So I just left there, and I drove to the next nearest Walmart, which is about a 10 or 15 minute drive from there. And this Walmart was a big Walmart. It had 3 floors. There was a floor of the usual Walmart stuff on the first floor. Then they had the the groceries on the second floor, and then there was even a third floor. I didn't even go up there. There was a third floor. So I went to the first. I was on the first floor, and I went to the express cash. I didn't wait very long. There's only one or two people in line, and I handed her the Bluebird, the cashier. She was pretty young, so I think she was pretty much of a new employee. She didn't really know much about it, so she asked her manager or one of her coworkers how to do it, but she didn't. She had no issues about what I used to load the Bluebird. She just took the Bluebird. She was helped. She was guided through how to do it, and then it came up on the terminal that, like it said, do you want to reload $500 or whatever? I pressed the key of $500, and then it said slide your card. I slid my card. I put in the PIN, and it said approved, and everything went fine. So usually I only do one card at one cashier, because if you do more than one, they start thinking, oh, what's going on here? Is this guy trying to do something that's, against the rules or something like that? Is he trying to launder money? So I like to do one card at one cashier. So if I have two cards or three or multiple cards, there's so many cashiers at most Walmarts. It's usually very easy to just do one card at each cashier. That's just me. You don't have to do that. You can say to the cashier, I got three or four more cards, and some of them will just say fine, and some of them might start thinking like, oh, this guy may be a money launderer or something. So just to not to avoid that issue, I just do one card per cashier. So then I had a second card also for $500, and I happened to go upstairs to where the grocery store is, and lo and behold, I found the automated ATM machine. So I got real excited. I said, oh, I should have found it earlier. I could have done both cards at the automated machine. That way you don't have to deal with the people, the employees. You don't have to worry that they don't know how to do it, or they do know how to do it. There's no questions. There's no discussion about whether the manager allows Visa gift cards or not. There's nothing. You just do it on the machine as long as the machine is functional. So it looks like the machine, what looked like the machine was functional. There was no out of order sign or anything. So I got to the machine and I started reloading the Bluebird. And then when I got to sliding the gift card through, there's a little second terminal on the machine, and that's where you slide your card. So it accepted the Bluebird, but then when I had to slide the Visa gift card, the machine that accepts the card it looked like it was all messed up, like somebody broke it or something. There was some of the electronics was showing, and it was all, the keys were missing. So I slid the card, and it seemed like it accepted the card, but when I keyed in the PIN, it didn't seem to accept the PIN. So I just did a cancel. There was a key on the main screen that said cancel, and I canceled the whole entire transaction. And then I went to one of the regular cashiers. Waited a few minutes, went to the regular cashiers, and I told them that the machine there isn't working. Could you please refill my Bluebird? And he says, refill it with what? And I said, with money. I didn't say cash or Visa card. I just said with money. And he said, okay. And he set it up to do the reload. And then it came up on the little terminal, $500. I clicked on the key, slid. I didn't let him see that I had the cards or what they looked like or anything. I slid my Visa gift card, put in the PIN, and everything got approved. And I just took the receipt and walked away. So that's my suggestion. If this is something that happens to you, you encounter a Walmart where the manager says you can't take these cards, and don't fight with them, don't argue with them. Just take your Bluebird back, take your cards somewhere else, go to the next closest Walmart. If there's none in your city or something like that, I'm not sure. You'll have to wait until you do have a Walmart near you. But I don't you don't argue with them. If they say they don't accept it, they don't accept it. Just leave go to the next closest Walmart. The best one is one that has the money center, the ATM money center machine. I think if you look online, it'll say, if you look on the walmart.com website and click on the locations, they'll say which locations have that money center ATM and which ones do not. If it doesn't say that, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call the Walmart and ask them, and they'll just make sure you ask them, because almost every Walmart has an ATM, but this is not just an ATM. This is a money center ATM, the money center ATM kiosk, and you make sure that that's what they have, and that also, once you're calling, make sure that they have it working order, because quite often they're out of order. So that's what you got to do. So if somebody turns down your reloading of your Bluebird because they got overzealous or whatever, the manager decided that they don't accept them, which I don't know how that Walmart accepts them, but I guess certain locations the manager thinks he's better than Walmart or something. And so this is my first time I've come across this. So that's my suggestion, and keep your mileage balance high, and keep enjoying collecting the miles, and we'll see you on the next video, and we'll see you on board. Take care.